Hey guys, today we want to talk to you about 5 RV accessories that you should definitely not go cheap on. Spend a little bit of money up front and they'll last you a lot longer.
Alright, so when we started RVing, we went for the lower priced items, because we were on a budget.
Yeah, and we wanted to have everything, just like everybody else that starts RVing. You just want to buy everything so that way you think you're ready.
Yeah. So. But you don't necessarily have to do that. If you don't skimp here and there like we did, and you get something that's a little bit better product and pay a little bit more money for it, you actually will save yourself some money in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. And one tip that we would give every newbie out there is don't rush out and buy everything all at once.
Get your necessities.
Yeah, buy your necessities now, and then camp for a little bit. Find out what you need, what you can live with, what you can't. Because ultimately, you're going to buy something that catches your eye, and you're going to think you're going to use it a lot, and you're not going to. Right. And ultimately, it's going to be a waste of money.
All right, the first thing is your water filter. You don't want to skimp on that. Now, when we first started camping, we got what everybody gets, is those blue inline filters, and some people love them and they do just fine with them. With us, I started noticing even when I cooked with the water, after it was filtered through that, I could still taste a funky taste. It still smelled funny, and even the dog stopped drinking the water out of the tap, and we just went to strictly bottled water.
Yeah, so we knew something was wrong when the dog wouldn't even drink the water.
Right.
So we started researching out a couple things, and you can spend a lot of money on water filtration. So what we're going to show you is something that we found that works for us. We do still use the blue inline to help trap all the stuff right away, and then it's going to go into this inline water filter. So this is the HydroLife, and basically, this has made our lives a lot better, wouldn't you say? So sometimes out there you're going to just get funky water.
Yeah.
So we use the inline filter to pre-filter it, and then it goes into this filter here.
So we do still use one of those blue filters. We have some of those, so we go ahead and use them. But it goes through that, and then it goes down the line, and then goes through this, and so we get a much better filter on our water. Now, I don't know what kind of microns we're filtering down to. I'm not keeping track of that. I'm worried about, is it going to taste funny? Is it going to smell funny? And if it doesn't, I'm good.
Yeah. And there are a lot of choices out there. All I'm going to say is read reviews, see what people are saying about it, and then especially if you have an allergy, you definitely want to make sure that you're filtering out for your health. All right, so number 2 is going to deal with water as well, and that's going to be your water pressure regulator.
You don't want to skimp on that. You
Yeah.
definitely need something, even if it's the... Ooh, sorry, bugs.
We started... Got it?
Sorry, I don't know where it went. Okay.
We started out with the small preset filter, which worked great. I think it's set to 45 pounds of pressure. But ultimately, we wanted a little bit more control of our system, so we bought an adjustable water regulator with a pressure gauge on it. Now, I don't have the box for it because guess what? It's on the rig right now. But we're gonna show you a picture right here, and that way you know exactly what we're talking about. With the adjustable water pressure regulator, it's exactly what it says. So it's gonna have a gauge right up front. It'll tell you what's coming in from the park. And then it's going to have a screw where you can dial the pressure down to what you like, what your RV's rated for.
You don't want to get to a park and think you have it adjusted right and have that water shoot through your pipes and it busts the pipes. And
yeah.
That's a bad day.
Yeah, most all these new RVs use PEX, and the fittings that they use are plastic and they can pop off and break real simple. So you definitely want to have some type of pressure regulator on your system.
Next up.
Number 3
is the ZeroG Hose. We really like this.
Yeah. So obviously, when you're camping, you're going to need a water hose, and you're going to need one that is drinking water safe. So, like everybody,
if you can get it,
we started out with the basic white drinking hose, and it worked great, but
as everybody knows, it's not very flexible and bendy, and it's very hard to configure into your storage in your RV. storage is at a premium in an RV, so.
These can kink, and winding them up, like she said, can be a pain. This one actually hasn't been unwound in probably close to a year, so it's perfectly great, and it probably won't unwind very easily. But
it's been coiled up too long. One moment, please.
All right, so this is our original ZeroG hose, and it is amazing. So you think size-wise, it really doesn't take up as much space. They don't kink, they wind up real easy, they're easy to transport, and they're drinking water safe.
A lot of
RVers love them. So this one now has been regulated to a secondary hose, but this is 50 feet, and it's lightweight, compact, and it works great. So, one thing when you're looking for a hose for your water, for your RV system, make sure that it says drinking water safe. That's key.
You need to see that on there.
So, because you don't want the hose itself to deteriorate and then you start drinking those plastics and all that other rubber stuff.
Yeah, it's not good for you. And also, when they start breaking down, it will taste awful. So you don't want that.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, this is what we use. It is the Power Watchdog.
All right. So obviously, every RV comes with an electrical cord. The one thing you definitely want to do is protect your rig, and that is to get a RV surge protector. Now, depending on what your rig you have, a 30 amp or a 50 amp, you're going to find one that works for your system. Now, when we started out, again, we went the cheap route, so what we bought, what we thought was a surge protector, but if you look closer, it just says circuit analyzer.
Yeah, circuit analyzer. So if we had a surge, who knows what this thing would have done. It may have stopped it right there. Of course, it may have gone straight through and zapped our rig. We don't even know. We thought that was a surge protector.
So
that doesn't have anything on this thing. So
yeah, so we got the Smart Surge Protector. We really like it. A lot of people will upgrade into an energy management system that's hardwired into your rig. We have a small travel trailer. We really didn't need that for us. This works great. It's Bluetooth. You can hook it up to your phone. They have an app. It'll tell you how much wattage you're pulling in to your rig.
It gives you all the informations.
So that way, yeah, if you really want to know how much you're pulling when you have your microwave on and your air conditioner and you have a toaster going,
which probably is a bad idea if you got a 30 amp, by the way.
So, but if you want to find out what your threshold is before your circuits are going to blow, that's a good way to monitor it. So, especially if you're thinking about upgrading to solar and you want to know exactly how much you're using so you can buy the right solar panel.
All right, here's a really crappy one, but everybody has to deal with it.
All right, so depending on whether your RV dealership actually gave you a camp ready kit, which comes with the cheapest possible sewer hose imaginable, you're gonna want to upgrade that, and you do not want to have a sewer hose issue.
No poopsies.
Yeah.
Or poopsidents.
Recently we found the Rhinoflex RV sewer hose. Now it is on the higher end of the spectrum, but because of what it does.
Don't worry, people, we haven't used this one yet.
This one's brand new, so so it is adjustable and it'll hold that position. So if you only need 5 feet, you just collapse it down and that's what you got.
And you collapse it down for storage, and you save a little space that way.
Now the flimsier kind, what you're gonna see is that when you drop your tanks, that water's gonna flow and then it's going to expand because it's not as rigid as that one, and it may hit a lull and create almost a P-trap where it's not flowing down. So
and then you're going to have to move the hose down manually to get that water to flow properly. Nobody really wants to do that. And it's necessary sometimes, but normally you shouldn't have to do that.
Right. And there are numerous hose manufacturers out there, different brands. You know, we're just letting you know what we think is a really good one. And it's going to also depend on your needs. You know, what length you need. You know, and that's another thing. Always keep an extra hose, whether it be a 10-foot, 15-foot section, just to have extra.
Yeah, if you have a 10-foot section, just have double that maybe, just in case, because we've run across in some parks where we've needed a lot of extra hose to get to the sewer because it's in a weird place. So yeah, that's just something to think about, because if you don't have the right length for it, you know, kind of screwed.
You're basically gonna be blank out of luck, you know, if you only have 10 feet of hose and you've got 20 feet to your sewer connection. So, all right, guys. Well, one thing we want to tell you is we're not affiliated with any of these products.
This is just what we use that we love. These are
But
the good
if you
products.
do want to take a look and see what we use, we do have an Amazon store that it'll be in the description.
Yeah,
The link is there.
The link will be down below.
So there's no obligation or anything. If you just want to see the products, cool. That's there for you. You want to read reviews, that's great. Obviously, do your homework, especially if you're going to be spending a little bit of extra money, you know, on these items. You want to make sure you get your money's worth for sure.
Find out for yourself. Don't just take our word for it or some other YouTuber's word for it. Do the research yourself. Read reviews like crazy, and you'll come up with the one that you think will best fit your needs. Thanks for watching.
Bye.